guys, so today we're going to talk about everything that you guys missed. So in June and July, when my husband and I attacked our credit cards with everything that we had in us, you guys missed that because I wasn't on YouTube. Actually, the fact that I had such a large body of people encouraging us and telling us to share this information with more people, XYZ, that is what led me to ultimately creating the YouTube channel. I'm really not like a YouTube kind of person. I kind of just keep to myself. I love to help people, of course, but that's, not really my thing. But that is pretty much what ultimately led me to getting on YouTube. But when I got on YouTube, that was in August, so you guys never really saw the hard work that we put in June and July to pay off our credit cards. So let's talk about that today. We're going to break it down. I'm going to tell you everything about our credit cards, and we're going to talk about how we got out of debt. But first, I need to address what could potentially be an elephant in the room. So what's ironic about today's video is that I just got a comment on my video from yesterday about skipping our loan payment, and it read, "So you're going to rack up a late charge because you don't want to shuffle the emergency fund around for a matter of 5 days or so. It doesn't seem like your system is working super well if you're putting thousands on your car and you can't get the timing right to be on time with all of your minimums." So if any of you are wondering the same thing, I guess it's kind of my fault for not sharing that information yesterday. But my husband and I both have a 4-day grace period for our student loans. So if I pay the student loan a day late, we won't have a late payment. It won't be the end of the world. I did say that yesterday. It certainly won't be the end of the world. I wouldn't do that if I was going to receive a late payment. But I feel like most debts and creditors do give you like a grace period. Like for my car, we have a 10-day grace period. I'm not too sure about credit cards because I never even kept up with those, and I don't have those anymore, so I don't really know how those work. I can't think of if they allow you to pay. Oh no, I feel like some of my credit cards did allow a grace period. But anyway, if you're wondering about that, we won't have a late payment. It'll be okay. Also, if you're wondering about whether our method is working, I would like to share that as of today, we have paid off about $15,000 since June, and we have paid off 12 of our debts. And after our car is paid off at the end of next month, that will leave just our student loans. So, of course, we may not be doing this the best way possible. We're following Dave Ramsey's teachings to the best of our ability. There's probably some things that we can do better at, but I would beg to differ that we're not, that our system isn't working. Yes, I probably shouldn't have put so much money on the card last week. Yes, we were counting on my husband bringing in extra money. Yes, his work is performance-based and we don't always know how much money he's going to bring. Yes, we're still a work in progress and we're still working on not perfecting our budget, because I don't think that that's possible, but just doing better. Honestly, I did get a little ahead of myself. I'm just trying to get this car paid off. I don't know what else to say. But for those of you who may think that our system isn't working, or who may not like our content or my content, or who may think that what I did yesterday was silly, or skipping our student loan payment or paying it a day late, quote unquote, is silly, or whatever the case is, I would encourage you guys to probably stop watching. And I know that sounds horrible because as a YouTuber, I'm probably supposed to encourage people to watch my channel, but I'm just here to share our journey and to hopefully help and inspire other people to start a journey of their own. It does not have to be our journey, but just to start to try to get their own financial situation in check or improve their own financial lives. Honestly, I started out for my family and friends, and they're not as judgmental as strangers out there. But I'm just saying, if you're not interested, I would probably just not watch my channel. Or if you're subscribed, I'd probably unsubscribe. But anyway, speaking of subscribers, you guys, we have 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So I guess 1,000 of you at least find my content interesting. But anyway, let me stop rambling and let's just talk about this. So I'm in a much better mood now that I've expressed that. So let's just talk about it. We're going to zoom in. So when my husband and I started out with budgeting, and we were trying to put a new plan in place for our debts and for paying off our debts, and we knew that our credit cards absolutely had to go. We just couldn't handle it anymore. They had to go. That was the reason why we started this. Our credit cards were killing us. It was just killing us with the interest rate and the minimum payment and how much we weren't putting a dent, even a little small dent, in our credit card balance. So we had devised a plan. My husband had actually started a new job. We didn't know how much he was going to make. We still don't really know how much he's going to make. His income is his income is irregular, variable, and is really based on his work performance. So we don't always know. So that's a part of the reason why I'm having to skip a student loan payment, which I talked to my husband about, and he doesn't really care. Like, I figured that he didn't, because that's just who he is as a person. But when we started out, we were actually only trying to pay off at the least one credit card a month. We did not have big dreams, big goals, big aspirations. We were trying to do whatever it was that we can do to get by. But as the month went on, things started to look up, and we started to pay off more credit cards and more credit cards and more credit cards. And things were going relatively smoothly. So in June, we knocked out all 4 of these credit cards. In July, we knocked out these credit cards. These were my credit cards, and the reason why we started with mine is because of the method of debt payoff, which we'll talk about. And then we went to my husband's. So let's just talk about these numbers. So you see $750 here. This was the balance. This was the limit. So this was pretty much maxed out because these numbers are pretty much equal to one another. This was the minimum payment. $750 balance, $750 limit, pretty much maxed out, minimum payment. $750 balance, $800 limit, pretty much maxed out, $25 minimum payment. $850, $1,000, $35 minimum payment. $1,450, $1,500, $50 minimum payment. $1,450, $5,000, $90 minimum payment. $6,000 worth of credit card debt, almost $10,000 for an available balance, or a credit limit, I should say. Credit limit, and then $275 tied up in credit card payments each month. And we were not making a dent in any of those. When you're putting $25 on a $750 balance and the interest rate is nearly 30%, you're not making a dent whatsoever. So anyway, let's talk about the methods of debt payoff. So there are technically 4 of them. One of them makes 0 cents whatsoever. I have an asterisk beside the Snowball because that's what we chose to do. Again, I'm just here to share with you guys what we're doing, what success we are finding in budgeting. The reason that I'm even doing this is because I contemplate every video that I post, and the reason why I continue to post them is because even though some people may not agree with everything, some people may not have 6 credit cards starting out, some people made this, some people made that. I think that everybody can learn from anybody, and so maybe you don't use our method or this method, which is basically the Dave Ramsey method, but maybe there's some part of my budgeting or something that I do that you can relate to your own budgeting style or that you can adopt. So that's the main reason why I continue to post videos. So again, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, I'm just sharing our experience. So we started using the Snowball method. We are paying off our debts from lowest balance to highest balance. Now, we chose this because of Dave Ramsey, of course, but because it really made sense. For example, our phones had installment plans, and they had about $150 total. So I think my husband had like 50 and I had like 100. So we needed to pay off those balances. Of course, when you have an installment plan, they're usually 0% interest, but still, they are debts. So when we were paying off our debts, smallest to largest, those were some of the first debts to go. And the reason why they were to go was because they were debts, but also because paying off those phones allowed us to switch to prepaid and go from a $200 phone bill each month to a $75 phone bill each month. That was like not rocket science at all. Paid off the $150. Paid off Chase Bank. We paid them like $200 or so. Paid off a few of the other little small debts in May, and we got started with our credit cards in June. But the next method is the avalanche method, and that is paying off debts highest interest to lowest interest. Some people choose to do that. The other one is, I don't know what it's called, but it is paying off your debts from highest balance to lowest balance. And of course, the last one would be lowest interest to highest interest, but that one doesn't make sense no matter what situation you're in. So these are the 3 that people typically choose from. Again, we chose the Snowball method because it made sense for us and for our situation. However, when we started paying off credit cards in June, assuming that you did not know that we had other small debts that we took care of in May, you would probably think that this would be the avalanche method, because everybody out there probably knows or should know that credit cards have like the highest interest rate of almost all debts. I mean, there are other debts out there, but the average credit card interest rate is like 30%. If you round it up, it's like 30%. So all of you out there who have credit cards, I'm sure you know that your interest rate is astronomical. And like I said, if you didn't know any better that we started paying off some of our little bitty debts in May, you would probably think that this was the avalanche method. So that's why I wanted to address that. We are using the snowball method, and we use the snowball method for our credit cards because it made sense. So I'm going to talk about the snowball method. So the purpose of the snowball method is to pay off your lowest debt and then roll that extra money into your next debt. So let's say we're taking our installment plan. So we had $150 left to pay on our phones, and each month we both paid, let's say, about $30. That's what it rounded up to, about $30 each on our phones. So that's $60 that we had tied up in phones. Well, once we paid our phones off, we then had an extra $60 to put towards our Capital One. So we had that $60. Of course, we had other money out there, but let's just say we weren't going to, when we started, we didn't know that we were going to be able to pay off our debts. My husband had gotten like tons of bonuses and blah, blah, blah. So let's just say we didn't know, and let's just say we were going to pay off just this one for June. At the very least, we would at least have had that $60 that we had tied up in our phones to put towards our minimum payment. So we could, to put towards our lowest balance credit card. So that would have been $85 that we could have put towards our Capital One card, if that makes sense. This is hard to explain because we knocked these debts out so quickly. I understand that not everybody can pay off their debts as quickly as we did, but so that's why this is pretty much a little bit difficult to explain, a little odd to explain actually also. But I'm just trying to let you know the purpose of the snowball method. Pay off your lowest debt, roll that minimum payment into the next debt, and keep on going and keep on going. As you can see, this is $275. What this means is we had $275 tied up in our credit cards. For those of you who have been following us, you know that this is actually about the same price of our car. So let's just say we have a month where I lose my income, or one of us loses our income, or our income decreases. We still know that at the very least, of course, depending on the situation, you might not want to, put any extra money towards debt. But at the very least, we have now successfully freed up $275 so we could put that on our car. So what that means is, at the very least, we should be able to put at least an extra car payment on our car. And that's because this is about the same price as our car. Of course, if this was $50, we would just be putting an extra $50 on our car. But I'm just saying this is pretty much an extra car payment. So at the very least, we should be able to pay 2 car payments each month. I'm hoping that makes sense for you guys. If not, I apologize. Our snowball is larger than that. Our snowball is anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 depending on the month. That means we can put an extra $3,000 to $4,000 on our car. But that isn't because our snowball hasn't grown past $275 because we freed up any extra debt. Our snowball has grown because we continue to increase our income or grow our income sources. So that is why our snowball is as large. But our snowball started out pretty large in the beginning. I just want to let you guys know the purpose of the snowball method. To roll your minimum payment into the next debt that's up to bat. And then you continue and you continue and you continue. Let's say, like for example, when we pay off our car, $288.73. If our car is paid off at the end of next month, we can then take that $288.73, divert it, drop it in the student loan line category line item, and then we are putting at least an extra $288.73 towards our student loans every month. So that $288.73, that car payment will soon be going towards our student loans, which will help us pay them off faster. So that's the purpose of the Snowball method. Again, I just wanted to explain that to you guys. But this is pretty much just another overview, and I just wanted to write this out so you guys would have a visual. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, please ask. Of course, if your question is silly, don't ask. But if you have a serious question or a comment or concern or anything, just let me know. I'm just here to share our journey. Again, I mainly joined YouTube because of family and friends. I debate whether or not I'm going to stay on YouTube every day, but I do know that there are other people out there who are learning from this. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.